And sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors and professionals, those who are listening, watching from the field of language, literature and grammar. Our today's lesson is the sound of music, which was written by Deborah Cowley. Importance of music was explained by Alexander Pope. At one place, he says that music provides the healing and treatment to the rejected people of our society. In other words, he says, music is the power of our soul. The sound of music helps us in creating concentration, maintaining memory power. In this reference, Deborah Cowley introduces Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. Evelyn Glennie was a Scottish girl. From her childhood, she was very fond of music. She wanted to make music her life, but she became deaf when she was 11. However, she didn't lose heart. She learned to feel music through the various parts of her body. Though she was deaf, yet she could listen to the sweet sounds of music through her mind and body. It was something very remarkable. She became the member of a youth orchestra. She toured the United Kingdom. She toured the United Kingdom and impressed everyone. Gradually, she started giving solo performances. She had the mastery of about 1,000 percussion instruments. She won many awards. She won many awards, but remained as humble as ever. Apart from her regular concerts, she also gave concerts to help the deaf children. She became a source of inspiration for handicapped people. She demonstrated to them that nothing is impossible for one who has the will to do a thing and works hard for it. Summary in detail. The chapter tells in brief the story of a Scottish girl named Evelyn Glennie. She became deaf when she was 11, yet she became one of the greatest percussionists of the world. She could not hear music, but she could feel it to the different parts of her body. How music becomes the power of its soul. Evelyn Glennie was very fond of music even in her childhood. She was then 8 years old. One day her mother noticed that there was something wrong with Evelyn. The little girl was waiting for her turn to play the piano. They called her name, but Evelyn did not move. This was the first indication that she was not able to hear properly. Evelyn had been concealing her growing deafness from her friends and teachers, but by the time she was 11 years old, her performance at school had gone very low. Her headmistress asked her parents to take her to a specialist. It was then found that Evelyn's hearing was severely damaged. Her parents were advised to send her to a school for the deaf. For Evelyn, everything had suddenly turned black. But Evelyn didn't lose heart. She was determined to lead a normal life. She made up her mind to pursue her interest in music. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but famous percussionist named Ron Forbes spotted her potential. He said to her, "Don't listen to your ears, try to sense it through the other way." Forbes turned two large drums to different turns or tunes. Evelyn suddenly realized that she could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. Forbes repeated the exercise. Soon, Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. She had learned to open her mind and body to sounds and vibrations. From that point onwards, Evelyn never looked back. It was all the result of iron determination and hard work. By the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She went to London and joined the Royal Academy of Music. In her admission test, she scored the highest marks in the history of the academy. By the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. Evelyn toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, but gradually she moved from orchestral work to solo performances. She could play on about 1,000 percussion instruments with great mastery. It was a wonder to see how a deaf girl could play the instruments too effortlessly. But in spite of her great achievements, there was no trace of pride in her. She would say, "If you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there." And surely she got to the top of the world of music. She says, "Music pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in my skin. It tingles in my skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By learning against the drums, she can feel the romances. She can feel the romances flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes to that. The vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. Evelyn loves to work hard. She calls herself a workaholic. Apart from her regular concerts, she gives free performances in prisons and hospitals. She has become a shining inspiration for deaf children. She has shown to them that there is nowhere that they cannot reach. Evelyn Clancy has already achieved more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the forefront of the orchestra. and she had shown that it can be very moving. Dear friends, it's very inspirational writing done by this author for inspiring, motivating our scholars, youngsters, to make them able to concentrate. Its first question is, how old was Evelyn when she went to the Royal Academy of Music? She was then 17. When was Evelyn's deafness first noticed? When was it confirmed? Evelyn's deafness was first noticed when she was 8 years old. It was noticed by her mother. Evelyn was waiting for her turn to play the piano. Her name was called when her turn came, but Evelyn didn't move from her place. It was the first indication that there was something wrong with the girl. Evelyn had been trying to hide her deafness from her friends and teachers, but her performance at school was going from bad to worse. Her mistress asked her parents to take her to a specialist. It was then confirmed that Evelyn's hearing was severely damaged. The parents were advised that Evelyn should be fined with a hearing aid. They were also advised to send her to a school for the deed. This next question, who helped Evelyn to continue with music? What did he do and say? Ron Forbes was a great percussionist. He helped Evelyn to continue with music. He saw the girl's great potential. He turned two large drums to different tunes. He said to Evelyn, don't listen to your ears. Try to sense it some other way. Suddenly, Evelyn found that she could feel the higher drum from the waist up. She could feel the lower one from the waist down. Forbes repeated the performance. Soon, Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. Next question is, name the various places and causes for which Evelyn performs. Evelyn gives regular performances as her profession. Apart from this, she gives free performances in prisons and hospitals. She gives great importance to classes for young musicians. She tries to inspire deaf children with her example. This next question, how does Evelyn hear music? Evelyn is deaf. She doesn't hear music. She feels music. She feels it through the different parts of her body. What we hear, she feels, and she feels it far more deeply than any of us. She says, music pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in my skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound through her fingertips. She can feel it as it passes up the stick into the fingertips. When she plays the drum, she leans against them. Thus she can feel the sound flowing into her body. When she performs on a wooden platform, she removes her shoes. She can thus feel the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. Thus, Evelyn has learned to feel music through the different parts of her body. She feels it through her mind and body as we hear it through our ears. So this is all about the question answers of this lesson that our scholars have read and listened. From the knowledge point of view, this lesson is really knowledgeable, informative, Next question. Rest of the questions you can complete it. Our next chapter is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. It is written by Anonymous. In its brief introduction to the chapter, this chapter gives a brief life story of Bismillah Khan. The Shehnai was developed by a Nai, means barber. In Indian profession we say Nai, in English we say it barber, hairdresser. He develops it from an ancient musical instrument called the pungi. The barber played it for the first time in the Shah's chamber. So it came to be called Shehnai. The most famous player of this instrument was Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was born on 21st March 1916. Even as a little boy, he won many prizes in music. As a Shehnai player, he won many national and international awards. He was awarded Bharat Ratna. Ustad Bismillah Khan traveled all over the world, but wherever he was, he could never forget Varanasi and the Holy Ganga. Music was always more important to him than money. That was why he was never drawn into films. He felt that music would bridge the gap between different communities. Dear friends, next you are listening to summary in detail. This chapter tells how the Shehnai was developed. It also tells how a little boy grew up to be the master of the instrument. The pungi is a musical instrument. It has a shrill sound. It is said that Europe, Emperor Aurangzeb had banned its playing. He had banned it because it had an unpleasant sound. Now, no one hoped that the pungi would ever be heard again. But there was a barber. He belonged to a family of musicians. He decided to improve the tone of the pungi. He chose a pipe. It had a natural hollow stem. It was broader and longer was produced. The barber played it before royalty. Everybody was impressed by its music. The instrument came to be called Shehnai. In the classification of this word, we can say Shah plus Nai. Ustad Bismillah Khan was the greatest Shehnai player of all times. He was born on 21st March 1916 at Deobra in Bihar. He belonged to a family of musicians. They were professional Shehnai players. Bismillah Khan was then 5 years old. He used to play gilli danda near a pond at Deobra. After playing, he would go to the nearby temple. It was called Bihariji temple. He would sing that in Bhojpuri. The local Maharaja would be very pleased to hear him. He would give Bismillah Khan a big laddu as a prize. The laddu weighted 1.25 kilograms. At a very young age, Bismillah Khan moved to Banaras. His maternal uncle Ali Bux lived there. He taught Bismillah Khan how to play the Shehnai. Bismillah Khan practiced for many years. He would practice for 4 hours in the temples of Balaji and Mangla Maya. He would also go to the banks of the Ganga. There he would practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga filled him with great inspiration. He invented many new ragas. Bismillah Khan earned countless awards and honors. When India gained independence on August 15, 1947, he was the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He was awarded national awards like the Padam Shri, the Padam Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan. In 2001, he was awarded the Bharat Ratna, which is the highest civilian award. He was held in high honor in other countries as well. In Tehran, an auditorium has been named after him. Ustad Bismillah Khan was lovingly called Khan Sahib. He travelled all over the world, but he never forgot his home. And of all the places on earth, he was most fond of Naras and Jumran. One of his students lived in America. He wanted Khan Sahib to become the heel of a Shehnai school in America. He said that he would create there for him the atmosphere of Banaras. He said that he would build similar temples there. But Khan Sahib asked him if he could bring the Ganga there. Bismillah Khan, successful in the world of cinema also. But he never thought of living in Mumbai. He said that he could not live the artificial life of films. He always preferred music to money. For him, music meant divinity. The title of Bharat Ratna made no difference to him. He continued to live in his own simple manner. He wanted all parents to teach their children music. He called music India's richest tradition. Thank you, students. Thank you, scholars. Nice to see all of you. Thank you.